What's up, everybody? Happy
Good morning.
Friday.
KJ,
Wow, we've already got a handful of you guys on here.
happy birthday
Hmm.
yesterday.
Thank you, Myron. I appreciate it.
I know I told you, but I just want to tell you publicly, happy birthday. Man, what a day.
Thank you, Myron. You're the best.
What a week. What a freaking week.
I know it. It has been. I feel like the weeks always go by so fast, but I think it's also because we're always so busy too, keeping
Yeah.
ourselves like always on the next thing. I can't even remember how this week went. I think Oscar did a walkthrough with Carolyn. I think I don't know if Carolyn's gonna hop on, but it'd be cool for her to talk about that if she does. But how is
Yeah.
everybody doing? It's Friday, you guys.
We got fires in the chat already. I don't know who's doing that.
That's funny. I don't know. Um, hey Sean, always good to see you. Thank you for always showing up to our events. And it's crazy that we have Vina Jetty coming on in like 2 hours. I don't know if you guys are coming or not, but I think you should if you got time today. I think that one's gonna be good.
I've seen her talk a few times, and she normally talks about raising capital because we're always raising capital, right? So how can we get better at that? How can we get better at that? But I think we're going to try to switch it up on her and throw her some curveballs, which she'll be totally fine, like flying colors, right? But I think we want to switch it up for our 12 o'clock Zoom Central, 12 o'clock Central. Sorry. But KJ, tell us about how was your week? What happened? What did you like? Give us a good and a bad and stuff like that. How's everything going?
I think it's been going well. It's still sifting through all these deals. And I think it's good that I built a relationship with a broker who understands that and is willing to continue to have the same drive and effort he's had since the beginning, even though a lot of deals aren't deals and are getting shot down. Because I know for some people it can be discouraging to, especially when you don't get paid until you close. So it's like he's working for free right now, just like we are.
Right.
So I can understand and see how some people would get frustrated, but he's always had good spirits and he understands, and he's just like the more no's we get, the sooner we get to our yes, which is great because that's how I feel too. So he's just constantly sending us deals, and now we're just having to sift through them. It's like, okay, let's underwrite them, see how they work. Can we put an offer in? Like, does it have an assumable loan? And if it does, can we offer seller finance? And when Joseph comes on, he he told me something he learned when you guys went to Orlando, which was really cool, that we were able to educate to our broker about how there is a way to still have second lien position even if the lender doesn't allow it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like just changing the lingo and stuff. So I'll let him touch on that because I was like, what? And he was telling my broker about it. I'm like, okay, that's cool because that changes a lot of things if the seller is open to it. So
Right.
this week has been just constantly sifting through, going back and forth with the seller and the other brokers and getting feedback and trying to make something happen. I know Joseph said one deal he thinks might be a good one. So that kind of gets me excited and hopeful because sometimes it does get discouraging to constantly, go through so many deals and, it's like, when is that one coming? So
Right. Because our goal is 100 units a month.
minimum.
And Yeah, we minimum. Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. But if I want to get super technical, but 100 units a month, even saying that is like, oh man, that's crazy. So if we grab like a 300 unit, we're gonna jump a little bit ahead. But we always want to put that out there, put our goal out there, say it, make it real, say the words, right? Um, something. Dang, I want to say something about Orlando, but it slipped. Oh yeah. So we went to Orlando and had that big event, and it was interesting. We're asking people how are they doing? Are they buying multifamily? And I think about 5 people that I talked to said, no, we're not really buying multifamily. We're stopping right now. We're going to go to storage units or mobile home parks or something else, RV parks, whatever. And I turn around and talk to somebody else, like, oh no, we've sold all of our multifamily and now we're going to move to storage units. And I was just like, what? And Pace did a little meetup, or Alexis Morgan did a meetup, and Pace showed up. And I went to him. I said, I literally just talked to somebody at the meetup, like a different group. And they said, yeah, I'm really, I was thinking about multifamily, but I think I'm not going to do it because everybody's jumping out. And I was like, Pace, everybody says, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying they're jumping out. And this is like golden opportunity time, right? How everybody's jumping out, but there are people trying to sell. People want to sell. Like this is legit what we are made to do. This is like for us. This is happening for us is how I feel. And as we go along, I think a lot of sellers are going to get worn down, right? They're going to get lowballed. All the things they're going to get crazy offers. We're going to be one of those crazy offers, but we're going to be able to do things creatively when no one else can, because they don't even know how to start, right? They don't even have to start saying seller finance. So I'm super excited about what the future holds. And so I was thinking we need to do more broker outreach live. We need to make seller calls live and push. We have our Facebook group, $1 Million Upside on Facebook. Challenge our group to do the same thing. Get on an Instagram live. I don't know exactly how to do, get in front of your computer with your webcam and do broker calls. And what is going to happen, right? You're going to put yourself out there, you're going to stumble, but you're going to get better really quick. You're going to get better at broker calls because you're doing it live. It's like way more pressure than you're used to making calls, right? So I'm throwing that challenge out there. I'm going to do calls tomorrow. Hold on, look at my calendar. I already forgot what time I'm doing it. 10 to 12. 10 to 12, I'll be doing broker calls or seller calls, whatever it is, single family, multifamily, brokers, realtors. We're just going to be making calls on our leads. And I hope people show up to the live, but it doesn't matter. Like putting yourself out there is really that first step. And so I've committed. I said, I commit. I'm going to do the calls. I hope some people start doing their own calls and start making their own content on their Instagram or whatever it is, Facebook, and push them to greatness. That's what we're here to do. Push each other to greatness, push each other to action when some people are struggling with action. I ran out of steam, so someone saved me.
I love what you said.
Yeah.
Especially that message that you sent in the multifamily group chat. Like that got me pumped. And Joseph and I even talked about it. We were looking at each other and we're like, we are so blessed. Like God put us in a spot where in a few years from now, like all of this is going to pay off significantly. Like I know like right now we're still trucking through it and like trying to plant those seeds, but when those plants grow and sprout, like it's going to be life changing. And I think this is the ultimate test of delayed gratification and grit and determination and all of the above, everything it takes to be an entrepreneur. But the fact that people are holding off or getting scared, like that's when you know it's a downturn, and that's when you know there's opportunity. And so when there's opportunity, that's when we want to jump on it. And so, you know, there's going to be things that we don't know how to do or that we're scared to do or whatever it is. But I mean, that's when you grow. That's when you figure things out. That's when you take risk. And then that's when you get rewarded. And so I'm just like so excited. I know good things are coming. I don't know when, but I know like as long as we continue to take action and keep doing what we're doing, like it's going to happen. It's not if but when. And that like scares me, but in a good way. It's just like our dreams are going to come true because we are determined. We're going to make it happen. And it's just, I don't know, it's really exciting. Like it's like all our hard work will pay off one day, and it's just like I can't wait, you know. But also remembering to enjoy the journey as you go, because you're doing the things it takes to become that person that you need to be. You know, like if you want to be a billionaire, well, what does the billionaire you look like? And are you acting like that billionaire version of yourself right now? You know, are you doing the things it takes to be a billionaire? So it's just constantly every day working on bettering yourself and being the best version of yourself and getting out of your comfort zone and taking risk and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And when you do get in a situation or a mindset where you're struggling, purposely putting yourself in a space where you feel that you can push yourself or have other people hold you accountable, or like Myron said, like that scares me to go and like just put myself out there. But like I love that he's on my team. Like that motivates me to see Myron like, hey, we're just gonna go and do it. And that's what I love about him. I feel like me and him are a lot alike, but he's even more. So like just go and do it. And so it pushes me to like, you know what, I need to just, who cares what people think? Like who cares if you mess up? Like just go and do it, because one day you're gonna look back on that and be super thankful that, you know, you did take that action. I was preaching, sorry.
Good.
Yeah, you guys are crushing it. I should just tune back out. Y'all are doing great.
No, Joseph, we want to hear from you. Dang, I had something I wanted you, if I asked you to talk about something. Let me think about it. We wanted to ask you about Orlando, about, what was it, KJ?
It was
the preferred equity.
yes.
Yeah.
Drop that gold nugget on everybody.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that earlier when I was making some oatmeal. So preferred equity, right? I heard KJ explain kind of a little bit about what it is. We were talking to this dude, Oscar and I think his name, I got his card right here, Dakota. We were talking to Dakota, and Dakota is a mortgage broker, I believe. And what he told us, because we were asking if there's a way, like we were telling him, we were talking about creative finance because we had just heard Pace speak. And so he was asking questions about creative finance. And what we were saying is like, that's our favorite way to buy properties. And it's becoming more and more and more of a thing to be able to do this. But one of the things that we're running into is there's a lot of assumable loans out there, right? But a lot of the assumable loans, the lenders don't allow a second position lien, which means that you can't put another mortgage or loan on top of it. And that stops us from being able to do seller finance. So what he said is all you have to do is change the wording of it, and you pretty much lock yourself in. to being able to do 80 to 85% total loan to value. And that's combined. So if you have, we'll use the number 80 because it's easier. If you have 40% loan to value on the assumable loan, meaning that the loan that's already in place is 40% of the total value of the property, that means you could put another 40% of the total loan to value in seller finance or a supplemental loan, which supplemental loan is just another loan that you can get from the bank on top of the one you currently have. That's a supplemental loan. So what he said is that if you choose to get a supplemental loan or preferred equity in addition to the loan you already have, we can help you structure that in a way that you're able to do that. So all he was saying is you assume the loan at the 40%, and then the remaining 40% you create a note of seller finance with the seller, and we'll say remaining 20%, that would be your down payment. So your cash to close is the 20% plus whatever other closing costs like CapEx, attorney fees, all that good stuff. That's what you'd have to bring cash to close. And you can structure it as preferred equity instead of seller finance. So that way the lender will allow it as an additional supplemental loan on top of it. And all it is changing the name from seller finance to preferred equity. And that's all you're doing. But you'd have to structure it in the right way, right? So I got a guy that will do that for us, and you should definitely get out there and find people that will do that for you. He is debt and equity origination. So if you go out there and find mortgage brokers, start talking to them about preferred equity. And if they don't know what it is, you're talking to the wrong person. I didn't know what it is. I found out through this guy who told me about it. So definitely get out there, guys. There's a way to make it happen. And that, I don't know if he really understood what that meant for us, but that is game changing. Because so many deals we come across, like, they look good, but if we come in all cash, it doesn't look good anymore. If we come in, assume the loan, and pay the rest cash, it still doesn't look good. But if we were to come in, pay maybe 10 to 20% of it in cash, and then assume the loan and seller finance the remaining, it looks really good, right? But not every lender allows that. So for him telling us that we could do this, wow, this is insane. It's super crazy stuff. Almost as crazy as Baby Cakes 5. I'm just teasing you because you said that. This is my wife's YouTube.
might introduce yourself before. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm about to start calling you Baby Cakes, my guy. I don't know who it is, Baby Cakes from now on.
That's funny. But wow, so Joseph, you met this guy from going to a networking event and putting yourself out there and asking questions.
Exactly. Oh, well, it's funny because Oscar was talking to him first, and I kind of walked into the conversation, just to kind of see what was going on. And I said, "Hey, what's up, man? My name's Joseph." And Oscar introduced me to, and he's like, "Yeah, this is my partner." He's like, "Man, thank you so much for your time," because they had already finished talking, and he was like, "Bro, let me tell you what I just found out." He's like, "Preferred equity." He started telling me. I was like, "Really?" So I started asking question. I hit him with another 10 or 12 questions after that, because like this is the stuff I'm dealing with like daily, right? So I'm just like, man, this is crazy. I love what I just found out here, and I'm gonna take all your time because this is amazing. So I apologize. But he was a really cool dude. He he handled my question harassment very well, so that's always a good sign too.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool. I mean, if we can just think about what we can do now, like with that knowledge, going to that event, meeting that person, and now making offers in that way, that just opens up a lot of doors, right?
Well, think about it. We were looking at deals and we're like, oh, we can't do them, right? Like, no longer look at them. Imagine how many other people are doing the same thing. But with us having that golden nugget and our creative finance background, that's gonna like set us apart even more from other people. That opens up the opportunity for us to come in and make something happen. And that's super exciting because now it's like, okay, there's another way we can try and make this deal work, for the seller and for us. So, I mean, that just more opportunity. And that's crazy how meeting one person completely changed it for us. So I think that's super important to go to networking events and putting yourself out there, getting out of your comfort zone. Like me, I'm the most outgoing person. Like I love talking to people, but when I go to events, I don't know why I feel uncomfortable sometimes. I have to like really force myself sometimes to get out of my comfort zone to go talk to people. And so knowing like doing that and meeting the right person can change everything, it's motivating and it's inspiring and exciting that because you did that, Joseph, you and Oscar and Myron went out to Florida, got out of y'all's comfort zone and network with people. Like y'all raised over $30 million. First off, what? That's freaking awesome. Now we have that money to bring to the table and have behind our backs when closing deals. And then I know you guys met key principles to bring onto our deals. I know you guys got this golden nugget that completely set us apart now from other people. So people who hesitate going to events and things like that, like it's worth it. But I think you should tell them what y'all did the whole time and why it's worth it versus what other people do.
What did we do?
Eat?
Yeah, that's what I'm
No, she means networking.
Oh, eating is worth it, guys. Let me tell you about it. Eating is worth it.
Man, between both of y'all, y'all's number one priority is food.
She means networking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know what you meant.
Y'all are funny.
Take it away, Myron.
I think just to start it, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I actually knew one of the presenters, but I think our value really came from staying out of the conference or out of the where the speakers are and staying in the vendor area. One thing that really I want to bring up this memory is just some dude sitting alone at a table. He ends up being, what was he? Was he insurance broker or something like that?
The dude I was talking to?
Yeah. No. At the very end, out of Michigan, and I think he was either a mortgage broker.
He was a lawyer. He was an attorney.
He was an attorney. Yes.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's an attorney.
And we just started chatting up with him, and actually, Joseph went up to him. I sat down next to Joseph. And then ends up like somebody else sat across from us and like 3 other people showed up to the table. Another guy showed up. Like we just brought this whole team to this guy trying to chill out. And he's buying in Michigan. I don't know why, but he's buying in Michigan. He wants multifamily. I think he has a portfolio, and just chatting with people brought some value. Right. And I was, we brought along another guy, Ben from Dallas, who is basically what would you call that guy? What's the guy on the SWAT team with the Ram thing? He just goes like bust down the door.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe him, man.
Breach man. He's basically the breach guy, and he would just bulldoze into conversations. Like literally people would be talking. He'd be like, hello, my name's Ben. Like right in their face. Right.
It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen at an event. I'm not gonna lie. Like me and Myron do not do that. We kind of like wait for an opening to kind of open up and like, okay, there's a breath in the conversation. Boom, jump in. He walked straight into the conversation. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ben. It was amazing. It was so impressive.
For the most part, it's well received. because
It
Ben
was
just
well received.
has a good energy.
Mhm.
And I'm over here like, how can I get people to come to me instead of having to like kung fu in my way into conversations? But you know, I think the event taught us a lot. Is like being ourselves, right? Having like wing people that can just go into conversations and take us along. But it was cool. Like near the end, again, we had a little community there, right? Sub two and other people that would bring us into conversations. Joseph, come over here. Myron, Oscar, come over here, and like just get us in the conversations with great people. Our one of our SEC attorneys was like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to this guy," and is one a multifamily mentor, right? And it was a great time. I think I saw one speaker, except for Pace. We saw Pace, but I saw like maybe 10 minutes of one speaker, and I'm just like, I need to go out to the hallway. You know, I need to be doing my job, right? So Ben was our goose. Yes.
Mhm.
We need, yeah, exactly right.
So go find yourself a Ben.
Or be a Ben.
Or be a Ben, yeah.
Yeah.
Or be a Ben.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
it was a very cool experience. And to your question, babe, what did we do that was so significant or different than other other than other times that we've gone to speaking events? This was the first event that I didn't watch the speakers, right? Normally I would go, I'd sit down in the auditorium and just watch, listen to the speakers. Yeah, I mean, I would hear some cool stuff and, I'd learn a thing or two. But for the most part, a lot of it was entry level things, right? A little bit more on the novice side, trying to get you interested in the topic that they're talking about, throwing out something that's like, man, that's so crazy. Oh, and you can do it too, type of deal, right? Like that's the general idea. A general idea. And it's funny, I'm not gonna say who, but someone told us this. They said the only reason people go on to speak is to do one of two things, either to get you to buy something, right? Whether it's a course, whether it's some kind of other event in the future or whatever it is, buy into them, whatever it is. Or you're there to make people feel comfortable with you as a speaker and other people that are speaking. So those are the two reasons that people get up to speak, the main reasons. There's also, you want to do it as something that you want to do, or you want to put yourself out there, bring more clientele. There's all these other sub reasons too, but those are the two main reasons, and that's what this person said. And I was like, you know what? I've never really thought about it that way, but it's so true. It really is. And this was the first event that we just really didn't listen to anyone. We just stood in the hallways, walking up and down the hallways, talking to people, just talking to different people. There was a point where we kind of just stood there for 2 hours and people kept coming to us. It was great. It was my favorite way to be. Like I am not an extrovert. I'm very much an introverted person. I would rather be at home chilling, just doing my own thing. But we were there on a mission, so that's what we did, right? We just started talking to people, and man, so much value. We showed up late on the first day, but immediately walked in and started talking to people, and we got more value than I think I've gotten at some of the events that I've been to through the whole 3 days or 2 days, whatever it is. And we did that in a couple of hours just by sitting out there talking to people. Because normally, right, they'll do an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour break. And that's like the time when everyone's talking to each other, right? There's a moment, and you know what I'm talking about if you've been to events, but there's a moment where the hallways are just so packed with people because there's no speaker going on. Everyone's been released to go eat. and they're all back in the main room just talking, and it's so packed. But the rest of the event, it's not like that, right? It's maybe like 50% full, or maybe even 3/4, and then you have the majority come in, another majority. Oh my god! Excuse our dogs. I don't know why she does that. Like, she can't walk on the LPV flooring.
Vinyl.
It makes no sense. Like, for out of no reason at all, she'll just run on her claws. And
Sorry,
apologies. Lost my
squirrel.
train of thought. Yeah. But
my
Go
dog.
ahead.
Sorry for stuttering. My dog used to do that all the time. Just brings back good memories.
yeah, all the time, man, all the time. That's why you hear them clacking around. So
And he would just go pff, and literally fall over.
That's exactly what she does, and it's out of nowhere. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm nervous because she's a German Shepherd, and I don't want her to like hurt her hips. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Here's the culprit.
Oh, that's a cool background.
Well, look at that legit background.
Here's the culprit.
Hey, culprit.
Problem dog.
All right, back to what we were talking about, guys. I really don't remember, but I know we were talking about talking in the hallways, going out there and truly just putting yourself out there. And here's another thing. I was talking to this person, brand freaking new in real estate, brand new. Like, I think they've just barely started doing it for maybe a month or two. And they were referred to me from someone in my past life, so to speak, right before I was doing real estate, who has seen what we've been doing. And so they referred her to me as someone to, ask some questions to. And we were putting on, the matchmaker event. And if you missed that, man, you guys missed out. It was super cool. But that whole event is all about people trying to find other people that they vibe with, or maybe can do some kind of business with, or maybe it's a good connection that you could get help from, things like that. And, I don't fault her for it. I totally understand. But she was a little nervous to go up and do it. Like, she's like, I don't know anything. I'm going to basically go out there and not know what to talk about. I literally don't understand what they're saying, what's going on. I know that I want to do this, but I don't know where to start, where to go, what to ask, what I need, right? These types of things. And, I literally said, just go up there and tell them what this would mean to you. Talk about you, be your person, show your personality. And you're going to find someone that's like, man, I know that they don't know anything, but I want to help that person because I like their energy. I like what they're about. I liked that person. Right. And that's all it takes. It's as simple as that. It really is. Like, you just need to go out there, show who you are as a person, and your vibe attracts your tribe. It truly does. I mean, the six of us, none of us had ever hung out in person. We didn't really, know each other than a few phone calls here and there. I think I maybe talked to Myron 2 times before, and I think both of those times we were really talking to Carolyn, maybe. It was a while ago. That's how long ago it was, But we didn't know anything. None of us, the 6 of us. I think Ione and Oscar had like the most knowledge in multifamily, but even then it wasn't that much. We didn't really truly understand multifamily. So what did we do, guys? We just hopped on a Zoom and said, let's hold each other accountable. Like, we don't have to work together, but let's just hop on and do something. And if we have questions, we can ask the question.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. But that's it. That's literally all we did. We just said, let's hold each other accountable and see where it goes and see what happens. And it was the best decision I think we could have done in that moment. I really do.
I think Carolyn's working behind the scenes right now.
Is that who's putting all that up?
It's not me.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I love it. That's cool.
Hold on a second. Kurt, what are you talking about? Can we switch gears?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about Corpus Christi 30 units and the meeting that we had yesterday. How excited or not excited are you?
Super excited. Stoked.
Stoked is the perfect word for that. I'm so excited about this. Man, let me tell you guys, this was not an appealing property at all. And if we would have come across this property in our current buy box, state of mind and everything, we would not have even given this a second thought. It is not an attractive property at all, but it has the potential to be. And after what we heard on the meeting yesterday, I'm so excited to see what we're going to do with this property. This is very cool. Very, very cool. Let me tell you why we wouldn't have walked away from this property. Right. It was not in great shape. It did not have legs. Like, I always like to say it did not have legs. And if it did, it had hairy legs. This is crazy looking.
Ew.
Yeah. And then,
oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm not politically correct, and I don't care. I like. This was not a sexy deal at all. It was less than 50% occupied. Like it was bad. We don't even look at anything less than 80%, and we like it to be 90 or higher. This is less than 50% occupied, and the rents, oh man, out of control. The financials that we got were not even a P&L. It was on the back of an envelope.
It was like a rent roll on a piece of paper.
It was just scribbled out. It wasn't accurate. We did everything completely on assumptions. And what else, guys? What else? Man, I know there's so much more about it. Oh, there's like potholes in the parking lot. Big potholes in the parking lot. I remember seeing a picture or something. Am I thinking about the right property? Or is this a different
no, actually he replaced the parking lot completely, but nice. They didn't, when like you pull into a parking lot, like from the street to the parking lot, this one has a dip. It's probably a good like 30% dip. So it's like even a truck will scrape. Like it's just like, okay, right? And so we're going to have to get that fixed, but okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
Say something positive. Say one thing positive.
Like about its previous
from the beginning.
Okay.
What was the positive from the beginning?
It was a deal. It was something that we could look at, man. Like, okay, from our early stages, we had our hands on something. We didn't care what it was.
Right.
We just had it. We had something in front of us. That was the positive, right?
And it was a killer deal, the financing that Myron locked up.
It wasn't yet. It wasn't when we got it. It was a cash deal when we got it, and they're asking overpriced.
Right.
So we gave them a cash price, like I think 6 or 7 million under what, I mean, not million, 100,000 under what they wanted. So it wasn't creative yet when we first got it. Myron eventually structured it into something that made sense later on. But when we first got it, okay, here's one good thing about it is it's close to the bay in Corpus Christi. It's close to the bay. And for those of y'all that live in, places that have bays like California or New York or Florida, things in the bay are typically very expensive, very, very expensive. So that was one really good thing it had going for it. And probably one of the only good things it had going for it, to be honest with you. But now, man, I'm so excited about it now, just knowing what we know. And we have a rock star, project manager, property manager, and a rock star team in addition to our team to be able to run this project. And I'm so thankful for them. I think they have really good visions of a plan to do here. We're being very vague. We're going to turn something that's, kind of like a, I'm not going to say that. It's kind of an ugly property. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. Um, it's going to be turned from this, very low income, ugly looking property, not very attractive, to a potentially, I think, very high potential luxury living area that has 50% Airbnbs and 50% long-term rentals. But it's going to be like a high-end living space, like something you would see in a class A. It's not going to be a class A. It would probably be more like a class B, maybe B plus, but it's going to look like a class A on the inside, and the outside we're going to do some work on too.
So how long do you think that reno is going to take?
Well, based on what they were telling us, the project is looking to take anywhere from 6 months to a year, potentially longer if something doesn't go as well as expected. I always just assume that there's going to be a hiccup, that way I'm prepared. So I assume it'll probably take a little longer than a year, but they're pretty confident in being able to get this done within a year.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think we should get, maybe next month or so, let's get Pace on a Zoom or a live, and just maybe
Let's talk about it.
have him break it down with us. I think that'd be legit.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good value.
Yeah.
Put some fires in the chat if y'all would want that. Because if y'all don't want that, we just won't do it.
Yeah. We'll just do our own meeting by ourselves.
Yeah, we'll have our own.
When I went and saw the property, and the guy was showing me the rehab they were doing, and our initial thought was just let them finish the rehab. It was like, if you can see this trim, let's say it's rotted. And so what I'm going to do is put wood putty and paint it, and that's fixing it. Wood putty, paint. I'm going to put wood putty on the walls. I'm going to put wood putty in the bathroom, on the tile. It's like whatever they had, they just used it. The cheapest rehab they could ever do. It was like, when you shine a turd, it's still a freaking turd. And so I think now when I went down there, I'm like, I can literally walk to the pier. You can walk to the pier, jump on one of those green scooter things, and bust butt down the beach. It's pretty badass. And you're rolling by $3 million, $4 million, $5 million houses. Someone says we don't need Pace. We don't need Pace. But you walk outside of the complex and you turn to the left, and it's like a $700,000 house with a gate, with like a nice gate. But I was like, this could be something if we really make it something. And I'm so glad it's going that way, because I think that's what we all want, is something nice, not a little. I want to say it like this: the property needs to match the terms because they're badass.
Hell yeah, definitely. But I think for us, like this is our very first deal. This is like our first child, our first baby, So it's nice that we're partnered with Pace on this kind of, we don't know how to do this kind of stuff, but we're in the meetings and we're getting to hear and see what their plans are, how they're, going through things, and how they're deciphering decisions, and how they're going to plan things out. And so it gives us an opportunity to like be a fly on the wall, really, and like absorb all this information. So I think it's super beneficial that, even though we like didn't get paid an acquisition fee on this, like the value we're getting for it is like getting to be in those meetings and learn. Like that in itself is worth so much. So I think it's really exciting, because now we're getting to build relationships with them, ask questions, getting to see a different side of things that maybe we wouldn't have done, on deals that we're going after. So I think it just will, open our mind to different things and be a great learning experience.
And just
Cool.
think about how much more the value is going to raise when we make it nice. It's going to shoot up. It's going to skyrocket. It's going to probably get into double digits.
And it's like I said earlier, planting seeds. Like all these seeds we're planting, sometimes it's like, man, like when am I going to see it grow? You just have to like trust the process and know that like even though you can't see it yet, that it's doing its thing, and it'll eventually, sprout into something. So super huge test of delayed gratification. I think multifamily is like the number one test of that. Is like it's going to take years before you see your work pay off. Unlike, fix and flips that could be 6 months to a year, or wholesaling, could be a month to 90 days. Multifamily is years, I feel like. Yeah, it's like you're definitely having to wait for it, but I can't wait. I can't wait, but like what I mean is like I'm excited for like when those days do come.
Our debt payment to the seller on that is like $12,000 a month. That's it. Right? 30 units. And if half of them are Airbnb, actually somewhat performing, it's gonna kill. It is gonna kill. And I'm just now thinking like, okay, half of them are Airbnb. Wouldn't it be cool to have like rent a bike or rent a scooter or some of those things on the side where you can just grab a bike and bike your butt down to the pier, and you have to come back and you have to hang it up in the thingy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How can we make it more like boutique-ish? Now my mind is thinking. Now my mind is rolling. Oh man, this is gonna freaking be amazing.
That's exciting.
I'm pumped, y'all. I'm pumped. Anyway, cool. That and then Monday. Are we gonna be doing our live on Monday?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think so. Well, KJ and I will probably be slightly late because we have our baby class ends at 8. So right when it starts, our thing is ending.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Wednesday, but then they're like, oh, Thanksgiving. So they moved it to Monday. So it's from 6 to 8, our baby class. So we'll be a few minutes late. But we're planning on doing Q&A if you guys, if you watchers on here want us to do Q&A, is it worth the time? Are you guys going to bring the heat and bring some questions for us?
We're closing on 40 units in Knoxville, Tennessee. On Monday.
That's so exciting.
So we're going to have something to talk about.
That's awesome.
Okay, cool.
Well, sweet. I know we got a meeting in 5 minutes, but those of you, if you haven't read the little tag our wonderful Carolyn created for us, Vina Jetty will be coming onto our private Zoom today at 12 p.m. Central. So that's in an hour and 5 minutes, if that helps you guys too. You can register at jbmlegacy.com. That will put you in our system, so that way I can send you text messages and reminders about the links and the Zooms and stuff like that. And it'll also give you the link to the Zoom. We only have 100 spots available, so please show up on time. First come, first serve. So whoever gets in first gets in first. So so far the last 2 or 3 Zooms we've held have capped out. So just make sure that you show up if you want to be there. So I think it'll be really beneficial. I'm super excited, and shout out to Carolyn for building that relationship with Vina and providing our team the opportunity to have her on our Zoom and for her to give value to all of us and everybody watching. So I'm excited.
Thanks, KJ. That was awesome. Awesome outro. Oh, wait,
we
got one question.
Yeah,
we need an
you
outro
totally-
video.
We got one question. Will there be a replay of this? All of our YouTube is streamed live, and maybe you're meaning this YouTube or our Zoom. Oh, Carolyn says no. She's talking about Vina. It will be recorded. Yes.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Bye, guys.
Awesome. Happy